So, talker, raise your hand. All right, you are going to talk for 1 minute about this topic. And your topic is my favorite movie. Okay, listener, you're going to listen. Use your active listening skills. Okay, and observer, you are going to observe for 1 minute. Okay, ready and go. So now the observer, you give feedback to the listener. What did you see? If you didn't put any check marks on, you need to let them know, hey, I didn't see you do this. You need to work on these skills. Okay, so give them feedback here. I'm going to give you a little bit of time. Ready, go. All right, listen up. Hey, we're working on active listening here. So my active listener, when your person was describing their favorite movie, if you didn't understand it, you should have asked clarifying questions. All right, you should ask, oh, really, I didn't know you loved the movie Nemo. What do you love about the movie Nemo? Okay, or you know what, or echo, oh, it sounds like that you're talking about this movie. And then you could actually validate it. I enjoyed that movie too. Those are your active listening skills. Okay? Listener, you are now the talker. Observer, you are now the listener. So that means talker, you're now the what? Observer. Okay? Your topic is your dream job. So discuss your dream job. All right. Observer, give feedback. Tell the listener what you saw. Okay, rotate roles one last time. So rotate roles. Talkers, raise your hand. Okay. Talkers, raise your hand. Okay, you are talking about your favorite food. Ready and go. Observer, please share what you saw. All right, we'll give you a few minutes or a few seconds. Okay, let's have you turn your desks around. All right, these are some skills right on the board that you need to use when active listening. And hopefully, by talking about them, what I want you to do is I want you to go out and I want you to use them. All right, for the rest of your life. But I really want you to focus on them in the next 24 hours, really trying to be an active listener. Okay? When we're talking about communication, okay, a few things. You have effective communication here using what type of messages? Assertive body language, which we just talked about, using active listening, positive tone of your voice, ability to look at other people's point of views, checking the facts, staying neutral, trying to resolve a conflict with a win-win situation, make up your own mind, and your body language is going to match your verbal language, and then it's two ways. Okay, and we're going to get into that more here later on today in another activity. All right, barriers. So when communication breaks down, all right, have you guys ever had a communication breakdown? Okay, there's going to be a lot of you messages. Your body language is going to become aggressive. You're going to hear, not what? Listen. Okay, you're going to raise your what? Has that ever happened to you guys before? Yes. Okay. You're not going to look at the other person's point of view because it's just going to be your way or the highway. That's it. Right? You're going to make assumptions. Okay, and when you make assumptions, if you look at the word here, assumptions make a what out of you and me. Okay, if you look at that and you break it up and you see you and me, what does it make? All right, so if you don't get it, ask somebody who gets it. All right, but when you make assumptions, it's not good. That's why you need to know the facts. Okay, you don't take sides, but in communication barriers you do. In communication barriers, it's I win, you lose. And sometimes at our house, that's how it goes. It's always about somebody winning and somebody losing rather than, hey, let's work together. You're going to be influenced a lot by peer pressure. Your verbal language and your body language don't match. It's just going to be a one-way communication street with one person telling the other person what they did or what they need to do. Okay, and so we're going to work on breaking that. You guys should have, does everyone have a little pink slip of paper? If you don't, okay, yep, I got you one. You want to hand that back? Hand this back. All right, and I want you to look at the side that says helpful skills to enhance communication. Helpful skills. So look at that side. And this is where, if we have a confrontation, so you have to talk to somebody about something that's ucky. How many of you, whatever it might be. Like you're arguing with your brother and sister, okay, you're arguing with your parents, you're arguing with your friends, you have a disagreement with the teachers. How many of you ever had one of those situations in your life? Okay, this is where this is handy. Because instead of using a you message, all right, you're going to use an I message. Okay? And it's a confrontation skill used to let another person know your feelings and help set up a compromise situation so both parties can win. And when you do that, when you compromise, it's a give and a what? What's the opposite of give? Okay, it's a give and a take to get that win-win situation. But in order for that to happen, and for there not to be an argument that escalates, but you want to de-escalate it and you just want to resolve it, okay, you need to use this I message. And if you look below, that's exactly what you see there. I feel blank, when blank, because blank, I would like or I want you to consider doing this instead. Okay, now imagine your sibling at home that you're arguing over whatever. How many of you argue with your siblings about something? So think about that thing that you're arguing about, all right? And when they have it, what words come out of your mouth? What's the first word that comes out of your mouth? Give me, and if they don't give me, then what word comes out of your mouth? How many of you have you being that first word that comes out of your mouth? Like, you're so blah, you are blah, blah, blah. Okay, when those words come out of your mouth, what does your sibling do? Do they get more fired up? Okay, and now I want you to think about that. Now reverse it. When you have that thing and your sibling does the you message to you, you feel what? How do you feel? Mad, angry. You feel attacked. And that's what you messages do. They attack. All right, they're communication barriers. And it leads to one person feeling like they need to win and you need to what? Lose. But if you use this I message, okay, it's not, that should hopefully help resolve it. Because, okay, so when, this is what we have to do at our house, because we're usually pokey getting out of the house as a mom, instead of saying, you gotta hurry up. Come on, Easton. Come on, Maya. Hurry up. You need to get your shoes on. You need to do this. You need to do that. Guess what words come out of their mouth? No, or Mom, come on. I'm trying. We have a what? Well, we have an argument over just simply getting what? Dressed. But if I say, I need you to get your shoes and your boots on the first time I ask you, all right? When I ask you the first time, because if you don't, we're going to be late for what? School. That seems to go much better. I would like it if you do it when I ask you the first time. And today, by George, we were out of the house. Maya was standing there waiting to go. And then when they use the iMessage, can they fight back? Because it's not an argument all of a sudden. You're stating your what? Feelings. Okay, so with your side-by-side partner, okay, partner closest to the door is a sibling that took and is hogging the remote to the TV, the iPad, the whatever. Other sibling, you are going to use this iMessage, okay? Then you are going to reverse roles, okay? So turn, knee, eye to eye, ready, and go. All right, so you each should have had a turn to use that iMessage. And the iMessage is non-engaging. Because the first hour somebody said, well, there's not an argument then. I go, well, exactly. Because it's not about arguing. It's about solving the what? The problem, the conflict, okay? Now we're going to flip it over to the other side. It says helpful skills to enhance communication. Okay? I'm sorry, that's the wrong side. Sharing concern skills. All right, so use to approach someone you are concerned about and let them know that you love and care about them and are concerned in a non-judgmental way. Okay, many times, and you guys, this kind of goes along with what we talked about when we talked about mental health. Okay, if you have a friend that you see signs of depression or signs of suicide, we a lot of times don't know what to do or say. and we don't know. And even if you have a friend that maybe is showing signs of alcoholism or signs of drug addiction or signs of eating disorder, how do you go about approaching that? Because it's scary. But here, this is your little ticket. You're going to share what does it say? What's that second word? Concern. Okay, by saying I care or I love, I see you doing this, I feel this way. And then there's what word there? Listen. Use your active what? Listening skills. So use these skills. Then you say, I want or I would like, I will. Okay? So we're going to practice this. And I'm going to let you guys, you're going to choose one or two situations that I give you. Okay? Partner closest to the door is going to be the partner you're concerned about. And you're concerned about them because either A, you believe that you see signs of an eating disorder, or B, that you guys are now 16 years old, you've been at a party, they've been drinking, they got keys, and they're walking to the car. So you decide, so all of a sudden I bumped you up a couple years. But this is a concern. How do you approach somebody who's got keys and who's going to drive drunk? Okay, now this time out, because you're going to reason with somebody who's under the influence, but how are you going to reason with them, and are you going to be able to? But here's a way. Now, it's either this person has keys and they're going to drive drunk, or this person has a possible eating disorder and you're concerned about them. You choose, and then you just simply reverse roles. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. Ready, and go. Yep, you have homework on the Power of I worksheet 2, 4, and 6. Just do the evens. Okay, and we are going to talk about, we're going to go more into this I message, and we're going to go more into communication. Okay? We're going to talk about levels of communication. And right now, probably, and most likely it's kind of just how I have you matched up. You're matched up randomly. We're in the level 5, just a cliche. Hey, hi, how's it going? Because that's about sometimes your comfort level with the person that you're with. All right, but if we want to move up, all right, in this levels of communication, we're going to do a little worksheet here, activity here, where you're going to report the facts. We're going to go to the I see level. Okay, what do you see? This is really important. Reporting the facts is really important if maybe like your job is a what? A reporter. Or if you saw what happened? A crime happened. You have to be able to report the facts. This is communicating. I see. Not too invasive, okay? It's about the facts. It's not very personal. Once we move up to you think, it's getting a little bit more personal. It's harder. It's an opinion, okay? It's an opinion you may have. So this can be a little bit more tricky, especially like I said today, you're randomly paired up with somebody and you're going to have to talk about what you think. Then we get up to this gut level, I feel. And that can even be trickier because when you trust someone, your level of communication is going to go up because you trust them, because you know that they are, what did we just practice? Starts with an L. Listening, all right? And you know that they're genuine and that they care about you. Okay? The I feel is personal, I'm sorry, and it makes you feel vulnerable because you're giving out your what? What's this word? Feelings. You're kind of opening up about something, how you feel. When we open up, all right, that means somebody might see us as vulnerable. And a lot of times we don't like that. We want people to not to see that side of us. Okay, but do we have to talk about your feelings? Is that important too? Yes. All right. Active listening is hard because you have to what? You have to actually listen. All right. All these are similar because they help with better communication. And they help with conversations, all right? And they help you have better conversations with people if you're able to move up in this levels of communication. Like I said, the more you trust somebody, all right, the higher it'll go up. Okay, you're going to get a worksheet. And we're going to talk about I see, what did you see happen? I think, your judgments or ideas, and I feel. All right, your worksheet looks like this. You're not going to write right away. I'll give you time to write. Okay? Pass the worksheet. All right, you need to decide who is person A and who is person B. Let's just do it easy. A is the back of the room, B is the front of the room. Okay? So person A, the first thing that you are going to do is I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and you're going to share with person B what you see them wearing or doing. So you're going to do the I see part. You're going to share for 30 seconds what you see person B doing or wearing. Okay, so A's, are you ready? Okay, 30 seconds, ready, and go. Okay, and stop. Okay, now you're going to reverse roles. So B, you're going to talk about A for 30 seconds, ready, and go. Okay, and stop. Now is going to come the writing piece. So right here, I want you guys to write about what was it like to share this type of information. So give me 1 or 2 sentences, just you, like not you and your partner talking, sharing here. But, all right, what was it like to share I see? Go ahead, write. Okay, we did level 4, I see. We're going to try to move up to the I think. All right, so writing-wise, you will be writing down here, but not yet. Okay, A, all right, you are going to talk about, share with what they think about B. So A's, you're going to talk about what do you think about B. Keep in mind you must be fair, kind, and honest. So what do you think about B? For 30 seconds, ready, and go. Okay, so now I want you to change roles. All right, so ready, and go. Okay, and stop. Now comes the writing component. Okay, so in the I think, write about this experience. Okay, how is it similar to I see, and how is it different to I see? So go ahead, write, how is it similar, how is it different to I see? Wrap up your writing. We moved up to level 3. Now we're going to try to go to the level 2/level 1. Okay? And this is where, like I said, as you move up this, I said your what level goes up in the person you're talking to. Your trust and your communication level is going up. Okay, so I understand like this maybe seems a little awkward or it's a little tough. All right, I'm going to ask you right here now, the person who is an A, you're going to share about a time where about a loss you have had. Okay, and maybe it's a death, maybe it's the death of a pet, maybe it's the death of a family friend or a parent or a grandparent, maybe it's a loss of a game, maybe it's a loss of something else that was really important to you. I would maybe share about how I felt about the loss of my dad. Okay, and talk about that. And I'm going to give you 1 minute. Then, the listener, you are going to practice these active listening skills. The echo, it sounds like I heard you say that you were sad when your dad passed away. Clarify. Tell me more. What was it? Why was it so sad? It was so sad because it was an accident and I did not have time to prepare myself. Okay? What did you mean when you said prepare yourself? You know when somebody's dying of cancer and you just have some time to adjust to that, you realize that it's going to happen? Okay, then you're either going to empathize because it's happened to you or validate because it hasn't happened to you as an active listener. So we're going to go 1 minute of the talker telling how they feel about a loss. We're going to go about maybe 1 minute of the active listener using these active listening skills. Okay, and then we're going to reverse roles. Okay, so talkers, are you ready to talk? Listeners, are you ready to listen? Okay, ready? And okay, listener, now go through your active listening skills. Tell them, go through these. Ready? Okay, let's have you switch roles now. So the listener, you're now going to share for a minute about how you felt. So I felt about a loss. Ready? And go. Just for a second, okay? All right, now there's the last part that you need to do, whoops, which is I feel, okay? So, and I feel, all right, write about this experience, okay? Write about it, tell me about what was this like. Okay, the back side says, I learned. We're gonna do this as a bell ringer when you come in. And remember to come with the power of I, even numbers done on Thursday. Okay, you guys can go.